Hey guys, how are you all? My name is Atif and a very warm welcome to all of you. Today we will be starting with a series on world mapping. First question I would like to ask you, do you guys feel that this is not important or is it really that important that we start a series on this? Then your questions will be answered here from UPSC 2024 prelims, where there were a lot of questions asked exclusively from mapping, and if you know the mapping properly you will be easily able to answer the questions. So that is why I've decided to bring a series on mapping so that you are easily able to answer such questions. Now, how will we approach mapping? First things we'll do is that we will learn about the political map. Political map means a map having the name of the countries and their locations. Broadly talking, the maps are of two types. First is the political map and the second is the physical map. What we will do is we will start with the political map. In the political map, we will figure out the countries, their location and the associated things like the border sharing, with which seas they share the border, the oceans and many other things. After that, when we are familiar with the countries that where they are located, then we will start with the physical map. Physical map means the map that shows the mountains, the rivers and every other thing that is associated with the physical geography. Now, this course is going to be right from the basic level, so it is for everybody. So let us start with the very basics. Most of you will know about north, south, east, west. Just for your reference, this will be the north, this will be the south, this will be your east and this is the west. And the equator passes through the center of, sorry, this is the Tropic of Cancer that I draw. Equator will pass somewhere like this, and what we're gonna do here is that we will divide, the equator divides the world in two parts, the upper northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, we have some countries like, most importantly, India. This is India. Now, let us broadly talk of the continents. If we talk of the continents, you will see Asia, Africa, Australia. The three A's: Asia, Africa and Australia. Remember the location of the continents. Right now I want to show you the location of the continents so that once we start to go into the depths, you will be easily able to recognize the places. Then there is Europe, North America, South America and finally Antarctica. This is the location of the continent. So now if you ever get a blank map, you should be able to easily analyze and find out where the continents lie. Now coming to the oceans, they are also very important. If we have oceans, we have Atlantic Ocean that lies with the North America and Europe. It lies in between the two continents. Then you have Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean and Southern Ocean. These are very important. Finally, at north side, you will have the Arctic. These are very important. These are the main features of the world. Now, we will try and study each continent one by one and figure out all the countries in the continent. Starting with the very easy continent, we will be starting with South America, because this continent has got very little countries as well as it is very easy to remember. So, we will start from South America. This is the map of South America. As I told you, the maps are of two types. First one, the political map, and the second one is the physical map. This map is showing you all the countries along with the states. So this map is going to be the political map. Okay, clear? Now, let us start with the South American continent. It is located in the southern hemisphere. As I told you about the equator, the bottom, the southern part, that countries, the continents that lie in the south are called the lie in the southern hemisphere, and it is bound by Pacific Ocean on the west, as you can see here, the Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Ocean on the east. This is the location of South America. Now, we will take one country at a time and try and learn about each country. We'll only try and we'll learn about each country, but only the very important places that we need to know. There are a lot of places and lot of things that are there in these countries, but we don't have to remember everything. If you see the map, we'll start with French Guiana. I mean to say it is this part of the continent that I have highlighted here. French Guinea. We'll be starting with French Guinea. Now, French Guinea has a capital called Cayenne, Cayenne. You should know the capital because you can easily get a question for match the following and then the country is given and along with its capital. Then you will have to match it. So you should know at least the capital of the country. The capital is Cayenne. It is located in South America, and one important thing about this is Kourou, Kourou. It is the launch station of France. It is a launch station from and the European Space Agency as well, from where they launch the missiles and many other rockets or whatever they have to launch. It is in French Guinea, and the place is called KOU or OU. Here is the location. What I want to make you familiar with these lectures is about the location of the places, where it is located. If in the exams it's asked about the location of Kourou, it is first of all in South America. Then if you're asked in which country, you should know it is in French Guiana. And if it's asked from which part, then you can see it's in the north of the French Guinea. Now, water bodies, you can see there is Atlantic Ocean. This is all we need to know about this country, not more than that. There are a lot of things that you can see. Right now, if you talk of the political map only, we have to know only this much. When we come to the physical part, then we will know about other things, the grasslands and the mountains and the other features. Right now, this is it. Coming to the next, it is Suriname, Suriname, Suriname. And the capital is Paramaribo, Paramaribo. This is the map of South America. This is for your reference so that you know where the country is located. There is nothing much important about this country, but for the sake of understanding the location of all the countries, I have shown you the country where it is located. On the west side of the French Guiana is Suriname with the capital Paramaribo. Here is the location. Coming to the next country, it is South American country Guyana. Don't get confused. French Guiana is different and this is Guyana. Capital of Georgetown. You should know the capital Guyana, Georgetown. GG. Guyana and Georgetown. So we are done with three countries. Can you name them? French Guinea, Suriname, Guyana. Capitals as well. You should know. Now, this is a blank map for you so that you can revise it yourself. If I mark it as 1, this as 2 and this as 3, will you be able to guess the countries? This is a homework for you, just get it done. You can comment as well as do it on your rough copy. You should have this kind of a map, you print it, and this is going to help you a lot. We are going to use this kind of a map lot in our lectures. So take a print out of this map so that you revise, and the purpose is to make you familiar with these places and you should not feel uncomfortable while you are doing the mapping. Now let's move to Venezuela. We are done with this country, we are done with this country, we are done with this country. Comments, you should tell me in the comments what are the name of the countries. Now we will move to Venezuela. The name is Venezuela. Now here's a very easy thing to remember this. As you can see, this is a bit of V-shaped country. V for Venezuela. So the country's name is Venezuela and the capital is Caracas, C-A-R-A-C-A-S. Venezuela, V-shaped country, capital Caracas, C-A-R-A-C-A-S. Clear? There are some of the important things that you need to know about this country. First, this country has the largest oil reserves in the world. Largest oil reserves. Maybe you are wondering that it should be somewhere in the Middle East, but no. Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world. And here you can see is the Maracaibo. It is a port. Port Maracaibo is an oil export port, because if you have so much of oil in your country, you have to export it as well. This port is used for that purpose. And Lake Maracaibo as well. This we will study in the physical geography part. So three important things: capital Caracas, largest oil reserve, and Port Maracaibo. See, you don't have to remember every port, but whatever I am telling you here, you should know those ports because it is very important for your exams. Port Maracaibo. Clear? Let's move to next country. It's Colombia, lying on the west of Venezuela. We are done with this, this, and this. You can name them quickly. This is French Guinea, this is Suriname, this is Guyana, and this is Venezuela. You should know, as well as their capitals and the points that I have mentioned. Now, let us go to Colombia. There are some of the interesting features about Colombia. First, about the capital. The capital is Bogota, B-O-G-O-T-A. Capital Bogota, B-O-G-O-T-A. If you're feeling it difficult to memorize these things, then you should revise it as much as possible so that you don't forget about the things. Now, I'll give you some of the brief idea about how to memorize some of the places, but not all. If you talk of Colombia, you can see there are two O's, C-O-L-O, and Bogota is the two O's as well. So you can use these tricks to memorize, but this will not work for everywhere, but wherever it's possible, just use these things. Interesting thing about Colombia is it is bordering both the Pacific Ocean, you can see here, this is the Pacific Ocean part, and the Atlantic as well. So Colombia has Pacific on one side and Atlantic on other side. This is very important. You might get asked, name the country in the South America which shares border with both the Pacific Ocean as well as the Atlantic Ocean. So you should be able to answer it is Colombia. Now, going to our next country, that is Ecuador. Ecuador, Ecuador, and its capital is Quito, Quito. Quito, don't get confused with Kyoto, Kyoto, that is in Japan. You can get confused easily with Quito and Kyoto, that is different. Quito is the capital of Ecuador, located in South America. And this one more thing that is important is the equator passes through Ecuador, right? There was a lot of turmoil going on in Ecuador, the currency was falling, that is a lot, that's different, we will talk about it in geopolitics, but right now you know about the location of Ecuador. It is located in South America and shares its border with Colombia and Peru. That's the next country that we're going to study. One important thing about Ecuador is that it does not share its borders with Brazil. This is very important because in the entire South America, you will find only two countries that do not share their border with Brazil. Only two countries, and one of them is Ecuador. We'll talk about the next when we will reach there. Coming to our next country is the Peru. You can see, if you look at the map, it's P-shaped here. P-shaped, Peru. P-E-R-U, Peru. Capital, here is capital is Lima. The capital of Peru is Lima. Don't forget what I am teaching you. Memorize everything. This is going to help you in the exams. If you are good in maps, your answers will automatically get better. So the capital of Peru is Lima, and remember this name, Nazca, N-A-Z-C-A. This is also located in Peru. We will talk about it when we will talk about the plate tectonics, the Nazca plate and other things. This will come into play there. Right now, you just have to remember about the location of Nazca, where it is located in Peru, P-E-R-U, Peru. Clear? Another important thing about Peru is that this region, the coast of Peru, is rich in phosphates. Phosphate rich, because of the bird droppings. Why does the phosphate come from? Bird dropping. Okay? If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comments. Just make sure you memorize that I am teaching, otherwise you will forget. If you leave it for too long, you will not be able to remember everything, you will forget. So keep memorizing. Now comes the map again. Can we name the countries quickly? What is this? French Guinea. What is this? Suriname. What is this? Guyana. What is this? Quickly. This is a V-shaped country. Venezuela. What is this? Colombia. This, not sharing the border with Brazil. You can see, this is Brazil. It's not sharing the border. Ecuador. What is this? The P-shaped country that I just said. Peru. Clear? Now we'll come to our next country, that is Chile. You know, it is named Chile because it's not like any other country, but it's very long, just like a regular chili that we use in our food. So the country of Chile is a long country. It's about 4,200 kilometers, and the world's driest place lies in this country as well. We'll talk about that as well. The capital of Chile is, uh, just a second, sorry. Here, here is what I was talking about. Arica. The driest place on earth is called Arica. Clear? Arica is the driest place on earth. It is located on the Peru Chile border. It's the driest place on the earth because of cold water. If ever you get asked about the reason, because of the cold water there. That is very important. Peru Chile coast, Peru Chile border, cold water. That is the reason for this area being very dry. The capital is Santiago, and there is a place called Chuquamata. World's largest copper town is located along this region and shares its border with Bolivia. Bolivia border, where Chile shares border with Bolivia, Chuquamata is world's largest copper town, is located at that place. It is located in Chile. Very important things about lithium, that we'll talk about 3 countries. Right now we have studied about Chile. There are 2 more countries that are coming up. Then we'll talk about the lithium as well. Lithium is found in a good quantity in Chile. Coming to Bolivia, this is the location of Bolivia. As you can see, it has no access to sea. There is no access to sea. Can you see it is located, it is bound by the land masses on all the sides, the countries on all the sides. From this side, you can see it's Peru, Chile, Argentina, and you have Brazil. All these countries are bound, they are taking all the boundaries of the region. So that is why we call this country as landlocked country. The capital is La Paz. Here is La Paz. Important thing about La Paz is that it is the world's highest capital. So, where is the world's highest capital located? In Bolivia. Correct. It's located in Bolivia. Then there is a place called Salar, which is rich in lithium. There are very rich lithium deposits, as I told you about the lithium in Chile as well. Remember the name Bolivia. So we got 2 names up until now, Chile and Bolivia. One more is left. After that we will discuss about it in detail. There is one more place called Sucre. It is the judicial capital of Bolivia. There is one more lake called Lake Titicaca. It is the highest lake, highest navigable lake, but this will again discuss in the physical geography of South America. Clear? This is the landlocked country. What are the important points? Landlocked country, world's highest capital, and lithium resources, very high lithium resources. Coming to next country, that is Paraguay. Paraguay is again a landlocked country. If you look at this, this is Paraguay. It is bound by Brazil on one side, Bolivia on one side, and Argentina on the other side. Okay. This is a landlocked country. I just told you what landlocked country is, that doesn't have access to seas and oceans. This is a landlocked country. The capital is Asuncion. This is all you need to know about Paraguay. You don't have to remember everything. The points I am mentioning are very important. If there is something that's more important, I will tell you. Now let's come to Uruguay. Don't confuse yourself. Paraguay is a landlocked country. Uruguay is not. It lies along the coast. The capital of Uruguay is Montevideo. Here, Montevideo is the capital of Uruguay. That's all about Uruguay as well. Nothing more to know about this place as well. If there is something in news, then I'll add that to our lectures. But right now, there is all that you need to know about Uruguay. Then we come to Argentina. This is the location of Argentina on the map. You can see this is a very big country. The capital is Buenos Aires. And it is also rich in lithium. Now, I want to ask you a question about the 3 countries that I have mentioned that are rich in lithium. What are the 3 countries? First, I spoke about Chile, then Bolivia, and finally about Argentina. So, it's A, B, C. These form more than 50% of the global lithium production. And this region forms, see, if you talk of Bolivia, Chile and Argentina, it forms a triangle shape. So these three countries are called the lithium triangle of the world. Okay, because they produce more than 50% of the global lithium. That is about Argentina. And now we'll come to final country, that is Brazil. Brazil is the largest country in South America. It shares its border with all the countries in the continent except Ecuador and Chile. Only the two countries there that it does not share its borders with. This is the largest country. Its capital is called Brasilia. A lot of you might have confusion that it might be Rio, because Rio is a very popular city in Brazil, but it's not Rio. The capital is Brasilia. Okay. Now some of the important facts about Brazil is that Sao Paulo is the coffee region. See, I'll point it out. It will be very small. It might not be visible, but here it is Sao Paulo, that is a good coffee region where there is very good production of coffee. This is the Tropic of Capricorn that I am drawing. Okay, just remember Sao Paulo lies on the southern side of Tropic of Capricorn, on the southern side. Another important thing, Rio de Janeiro again, but this one will lie on the northern side of the Tropic of Capricorn. Just take Tropic of Capricorn as the reference, and then you will be easily able to identify these places. And there is one more important place called Santos. This is also a port. So we have three important things here. First, Rio, North, then Santos and, what did I say? Santos and Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo. These are the important places in Brazil. And the most important about the Carajás, this is the world's largest iron mine. Here is the location of Carajás. You can see the red dot, Minas de Carajás, it is the local language. And the Carajás is the world's largest iron mine that is located in Brazil. So these are some of the points that you needed to know about the political part of South America. Then we will talk about the physical features, all the rivers that are present there, all the forests like the Amazon basin, all the mountains like the Andes mountains. That will be a very long session and we will talk about that, because this was a brief overview of the continent, about the countries, their capitals, and some important places that are usually been in news. I hope you understood everything and learned everything. Again, if you want to revise this map, use this map as much as possible. What is this? French Guiana again. I am doing this over and over again so that you remember it here. You don't have to do it after you finish the class and then go for the revision again. Just do it here as much as possible. Suriname, Guyana, come on, name it with me quickly. Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Chile, Bolivia, Paraguay, Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil. These are all the countries of South America. I hope you have memorized everything as I was teaching. And if you're falling short somewhere, just look the video again, see it again, and just memorize each and every place, so that in the next video when we're talking about the physical features of the continent, you don't have to find about the countries. It's already fed in your brain. That is all from my side for today's class. Hope to see you in next class with all the revision, because there will be probably some questions that I'll ask before teaching. So that is all. If you have any question, you can ask me in the comments. Till then, see you. Bye-bye.